helplessly. The Hawks, though, lead by a goal as we go into what should be a fascinating last quarter from the MCG. Easter Monday football right around Australia. Here's Clark out of the middle. The Hawks getting the all-important first break. Cox, who had a great third term, got 3 to beat here. Beat a couple of them and had no one to lay it off to. And Melbourne reaping the rewards of getting at him in numbers. Powell guiding the ball to half forward. Was there a hanging on there? There was. Advantage not paid to Liancelli. He'll have to come back and take the kick.
Well, the old cliche in football is that first goal, all important.
I was just going to say that, Dakes.
Right to full forward. Joel Smith now with the job on Brad Green and the ball out of bounds.
Well, it'd be interesting if Hawthorn were able to manage that, because the interest for me would be just the reaction or the actions of the Melbourne players.
Well, Neitz has gone back up forward. Swartz doing the ruck work here. He needs to try and redeem himself after giving away the 50, even if it didn't end up costing them a goal directly.
That's a better sign from the D's. Luke Williams combining with Liancelli to be the aggressors on Shane Crawford.
Keeping the ball inside their 50, just putting a bit more pressure on the Hawthorn defence.
Shane Crawford's had 18 possessions today, Harford 17, and Joel Smith 15. Eamon still in attack. That's his stuff again from Crawford. And just looking at the Melbourne list of stats, 22 possessions for Travis Johnson, 16 kicks and 6 handballs, 18 for Powell, and his comeback game 12 and 6. And Uze, a little bit quiet since early on, has had 14 touches. Swartz trying to lead the way in attack and get one back for the Demons. McDonald, it has been a free-flowing game for a lot of the game, but then it's just gone through patches, Steve, where we've seen a lot of players around the footy.
It has. It just been that type of game all day, and I'd expect the game will open at some stage through this last quarter.
The D's have the chance early in this last. Knocked down by Williams, taken by McDonald, kicks around the body. In the end, players just allowing it to drop. Crawford tried to hand it. Walsh tried to burst through. And in the end, Shane Crawford, he has done early in this last quarter, doing some good work in defence, wraps him up.
Just with the kick in the air there, Dakes, you're spot on with the sun. The players on that occasion found it very hard to go for the ball while it was sitting in the air.
Swartz, go with Nick Holland, who's very good in that third. Swartz tried to take it out. Loose ball, Crawford will run it away and out wide. Dropped it in the end. Should have been. Stephen Green, members side, looking for Cox. Good use of the body then. And too high in the end. Anthony McDonald, Uze will go short. Needs 2 bites. It's got it. No, not paid in the end. Loose ball. And Mark Graham just doing enough, but the final decision fell with the umpire, and he felt that Neitz hadn't finished it.
Very unlucky.
Yeah, no, I think it was a good decision. He lost it behind his back. There it is, and I'll go against you on that one, Sauce. Paul
did well there, Graham, though.
Put down Williams. Comes just outside Uze. Whilst Demons needing a goal just to settle things down, and outside 50 now, so the Hawks been able to push this outside the danger zone. 55 from goal. Melbourne with another bite at it.
6 points the difference. 4 minutes into the last quarter. Swartz trying hard, getting clear as Uze usually delivers pretty well. Again, he goes for his captain. Was that some interference? No. Powell couldn't get on the end of it. Neitz kept it in, kept it alive. Smith wanted it back to the boundary line. Graham, he certainly wanted it over the line and succeeded.
He's unlucky there, David Neitz, not to get a free kick. He was held off the ball. Umpire just missed it.
That's what you were talking about. Neitz appealing for a free kick. Melbourne needs some inspiration. They need someone to stand up and kick a goal. Swartz trying to do that. Hawks have got numbers though around the footy. Vandenberg gets a lucky one.
Yeah, I agree, Hutto. He had his head down, which is full marks to him, but in the end, as a tackler going into traffic, how do you avoid knocking the head?
Nathan Loney off half-back, got plenty of support. Nick Holland, who pushed into defence in the third quarter, runs for him. Loney goes longer, though, to the wing. It's a low kick, difficult to trap. Barlow didn't try and chap it. Did well, though, using Cox, who chanced his arm a little, took them on. Clark, cruel bounce. Brown along the boundary line. Broadbridge hasn't seen much time at all today. Brown chipped it up. And Cameron Bruce
in the middle, wheeling.
Yeah, goes for him. Chick has to work hard. Knew that he couldn't take the mark, so now just tries to hold him up. Wheatley going past.
Just has to get it in there.
It's an open forward line for Neitz. Great play. The kick didn't quite hit the target and made it a lot easier for Mark Graham. That's a great effort from Neitz with the tackle, and it might cause a goal. McDonald runs in and kicks it. Scores a level. The game's still well and truly on. Scores level, 14-6-90 to 13-12-90. And well done, David Neitz.
Yeah, if they ever needed one, if they ever needed a goal, well, this was the one. Neitz once again using his body, prepared to attack the ball. Great tackle there to cause the spillage, and young McDonald ended up kicking his first goal of the game.
Whelan did well. I suppose, take it back to where it started. Whelan did well to hold his ground and take a mark. So that's the goal the Doos are looking for. Neitz again providing himself, and in the end the tackle was spot on. Out of the middle, Piccioni off the ground, pushing it forward. It's all you can do. It will be a Hawthorn free. It's coming back to Tallis. So Raiden Tallis has bowled over, and cramp starting to set in, and I think should get used to that. It has been 3 torrid quarters, non-stop running, a real physical presence out there. To Barlow.
You look at the numbers inside 50.
So 55 from goal. He'll go short again, and Cox down from that half-back line or defensive role to go at goal.
He's lifted his game, Dakes. Young Cox, he was soundly beaten by Brad Green early, but he's been instrumental in getting the Hawks back into this game.
Game ranking 23. Not bad. He'll go at goal, and I think it was coming back, and then last minute swung to the right, so it's only a minor score. They lead by that point. It's 13-91 Hawks. The D's are 14-6-90.
Amazing to think they've had 6 more scoring shots than Melbourne. They've had some troubles from the kick in, the Demons. Johnson using the boundary line. It was out. Now he's going to pay that. He has to if he's going to be consistent. It was in the back. It was about as soft as the other one.
Well played by Johnson there. He didn't have too many options, and he used the boundary line, which is your best friend when you're under pressure.
So Travis Johnson off half-back. The Demons just steadying a little bit in this last quarter. They've cut the margin from 6 back to 1. Broadbridge the target, Holland the spoiler. Rawlings, who went forward and made a difference in the third quarter. Vandenberg has been pretty good today. Hasn't had an enormous amount of the ball.
Some more cramp, Dakes.
Yep, Luke Williams.
Takes him on, Vandenberg.
He does. Interesting disposal there. Holland, Swartz, Wheatley off the inside of the foot. Green just had to lay the handball off. He couldn't do it. He had teammates in support.
Have to hold it up, Hawks.
Yeah, they couldn't. In the end, Melbourne had numbers. Armstrong's delivery all important. Neitz loves to run the arc. Well tackled. Wrapped up nicely. Vandenberg. And now they're out of trouble, but not for long, because Melbourne had built a wall. Uze controlled his kick nicely and gives Powell the chance to deliver to a forward. Still pretty open in there. And somehow this man got clear.
Bruce.
And Cameron Bruce is a pretty handy kick at goal.
It was a great block by David Neitz. He actually blocked Bruce's opponent and caused Bruce to get the space in front of him, and it was terrific block by David Neitz. Happened just out of screen.
So Cameron Bruce, who's played the whole match, spent a lot of time in defence in it. He's got a very important kick here, and unfortunately for him, he misses to the left. So scores level once again, 14-7-91. 13-13-91. You get the feeling it's a bit of the calm before the storm.
I think so. Kicking to himself, Joel Smith out wide, Tallis with a sit-off. Good mark, Travis Johnson. That's the type of thing you have to come up with. Put himself on the line.
24 touches, Dakes, Johnston.
And a lot of those would have been amassed in that first half. Did die off, but not alone in that third quarter. Goes short, Liam Chally, who should be fresh, will drill a pass. Good kick, Neats. A real chance for the D's now, as their skipper will go back, has 3, and a chance to give the D's the lead. Beautiful kick. Certainly found a lot of space. At times his kicking can be pretty wayward, David Neats. Has any good handball? No handballs, Hutto, for any good forward. Player time, 75 minutes. He's been out there. Chance. The skipper doesn't let him down. Goal of the D's. Goals to David Neats, and with that, Melbourne jump into a 6-point lead. It's 97 the Demons, the Hawks are 91, 11.5 minutes last quarter.
Once again set up by Travis Johnson, and David Neats, their skipper, kicking the vital goal at a vital stage in this last quarter.
And his opponent was Mark Graham, who was on someone else in the goal square. So Melbourne back in front. They've kicked the last 2 after the Hawks kicked 9 in a row. Out of the middle, Thompson. Walsh left it behind. Crawford controlled it. Lekas just did enough to not be penalised. Well played by Loney. Green had nowhere to go. Suddenly, Melbourne starting to emerge with the ball from the 50-50 contest. McDonald, Robertson gets it in there quick. Neats has been so destructive. Was he held?
Neats.
He was held. Free kick paid.
Yeah.
Graham holds the arm up helplessly, but David Neats will go back and try and extend this lead. He's kicked 4.
The great contest out on the wing, Hutto. Melbourne had numbers. They forced the ball forward through harassment and tackling. Got the ball in quickly to David Neats, who ended up getting the free kick on a one-on-one contest. Correct decision.
And that would be I think the first of possibly 3 he could have had this afternoon.
He's kicked 4 goals, 1, David Neats.
He's been criticised, hasn't he, over the last couple of seasons?
Kicked 38.
Much maligned, I suppose.
Kicked 38 goals last year. What an important kick this is to give them 2 goals breathing space. He's missed it to the right, and the margin stays at 7, and the Hawks, well, they're well and truly in it anyway, but they'll be thankful for that.
Well, it's about any and every score.
Ball pressure.
Yes. 7-point lead.
He kicks that, and becomes a big task.
Well, gas tank may be out for the Hawks as well. Big third quarter. Trailed by 44, turned it into a 6-point lead going into the last quarter. Joel Smith to bring it in. Signs are that the Hawks just have stopped, but this game of football, anything can happen, as they say. Oh, Thompson, good mark. Need more of that. Move it on quickly. He does. Wing it is. Out in front of his teammate out there in Loney. Taken and dumbing a handball. Oh, in the end, too high on Hartford. Manhandle. Loney kicked it forward, but the ball is coming back. Coming well back. It ended up at hard forward. Boy, Daniel Hartford earned this one. Have a look at this. Liam Chally. Thompson into the middle. Graham just starting to stretch. Vandenberg further up the ground will take it now. Wing members side. Chance for the Hawks. He'll bounce. What opens up? Decides to go in long. Rawling sits back. White there at ground level. Wheatley. Powell should run it away. Hands off to McDonald. Sharing it. Could get themselves into trouble, the D's. McDonald with a bit of time. Brown. Beautiful kick. And in the end, Bruce has it.
They just had so many numbers in that bit of play. Bruce goes to Hawthorn. Walsh running down. Was that a free? Doesn't matter. Walsh can go back and take his kick.
He was nearly gone had he have not tripped.
Powell could kick this. He could kick this and really hurt them.
Kick.
Oh, in the square
Looks
again,
like
holding.
Against Mark Graham. So Melbourne are going to get the goal. Melbourne are going to get the goal. David Neitz will be able to go back and kick for his fifth, or is it going to Robertson? It's going to Robertson. Well, the crowd's stunned.
Our little half-time segment highlighted, one of the Melbourne supporters highlighted that Neitz was getting a pretty hard time. Well, it's actually Russell Robertson.
Here he comes to take it out to 13. He's done the job. And all of a sudden, the Demons are back in control at the MCG.
Well, once again, that goal caused really by David Neitz. He was looking for a block, and Robinson's opponent actually held up onto his opponent and was caused through David Neitz trying to block him, and he ended up giving a free kick holding on to young Robinson.
Well, they worked it well. So they've pushed it out to a 13-point lead, Melbourne. 16 and a half minutes, still plenty of time for the Hawks. I can't help but think the run is out of their legs. Liam Chally, Melbourne into attack. White did beautifully. Neitz taps it down. Travis Johnson, standing start for a goal. For a goal. Boy, talk about twists and turns in a game of football. It was Melbourne early, then Hawthorn. And then in that second quarter, the D's, Hawthorn in the third, and now it is Melbourne once more. Good finish in the end.
He's had a terrific game, Travis Johnson. He was recruited as a #1 pick in '97 to get ahead of Ottens, Crode and Tarrant, and today I think he's lived up to his potential.
Well, he's ranked as #1 out on the ground, and I think that's a pretty fair tag. His afternoon's work. 26 possessions and now 1 goal, 1. What an important one. So once again, Hawthorn need to dig deep and respond and try and keep themselves in the game. Good mark provided by Dixon, who when they've been playing well in this game in the patches has been one of the most important players. Good delivery. And the captain of Hawthorn, Shane Crawford, to try and answer.
Well, Walsh actually was looking towards goal, so he actually lost sight of Shane Crawford. The ball dropped short, and Crawford able to take pretty much an uncontested mark.
Crawford #2 in the game rankings, and not surprising, he's had 21 possessions. He needs to kick the goal, only just made it, but it cleared the pack and it's a goal, and they're still in it. They're still in at Hawthorn, 14-13-97. Melbourne 17-8, 110.
Lovely kick there by Dixon. He just held the ball up, waited for the timing of Crawford's lead, and Crawford ended up kicking the captain's goal at a crucial time in this game.
Good kick in the end, kept it low. So the Hawks hit back. It's back to 13 points. Wren in the ruck this time. They need to be winning it out of the middle. They did that so well in that third quarter. Wren to Paccioni. Powell was there. Vandenberg, fresh air shot. Liam Chally into an attacking scoring position. Neitz has got it! Slid into him with players around just watching him. And the skipper comes up with it. He has 4 goals and a chance for 5, and really, more importantly, to extend the lead.
Tell you what he has done, Dakes. He's created space in front of him. A couple of opportunities there for Hawthorn players to actually push back, but they know how hard this guy actually attacks the ball, and he ended up taking an easy chest mark.
So Neitz with the chance. Just under 20 minutes last quarter. This would make it hard for the Hawks, and I think it's just going to scrape through. It has. 5 goals to David Neitz. and an answering reply. It's 18-8-1-16. Demons 14-13-97 Hawthorn.
The advantage of getting the ball out of the middle too. The defender's nightmare, forward's dream. Well done, David Neitz.
What an answer from David Neitz. 5 goals, 2 for the day. And once again, Melbourne skip away to a 3 goals plus lead. Broadbridge's kick run down. Has to go again. He's got time on his side. And he's got plenty of forwards leading, attacking the ball. Delivery was spot on. And Brad Green takes the mark and can line them up.
He did wonderfully. He did a terrific job actually holding on to that. He certainly hit the ground. Have a look at this one. And there was no way known Brad Green was going to lose that.
He did well to we just have Neitz after the goal. He kick. But great kick by young Broadbridge too on that occasion too, Dakes.
I think the positioning of the Melbourne players has been very good in this quarter. They're winning it and they're running it into that midfield type position. But more importantly, no one across half forward, allowing the ball to travel inside 50.
Walsh has been on Crawford is off, but we're watching Brad Green, who's pulled his kick away. Speaking of changes down there, Christy, I noticed Shane Woden's been on the bench for most of this last quarter.
Actually, Anthony, he's been on the bench for all of this last quarter. I've asked and they said he's not injured, so it's obviously just for team balance, but he's sitting on the bench and he hasn't even warmed up, so it doesn't look like he's going to come on anytime soon.
Oh, that magic, that team balance.
Yeah, it's a great word, isn't it?
Hawks on the kick in. They find Holland. A lot of the run has deserted the Hawks. It was so evident in that third quarter. Holland short, Piccioni. Harford be the shepherd of taking Johnson off the ball. Piccioni allowed to run. Carries it. It'll drop short. Brown smothered the ball well. Hands off to Schwartz, who in the end nearly dropped it. Might have got a hand to it. Wheatley comes through the traffic and then finds Johnson, who dummied a handball. Actually gestured to handball. Could have been called a play on. Finds Liancelli. The D's just retaining it into the middle now to White. Out wide. Dummy to handball, goes short, and Robertson will mark. Boy, no one went at Jeff White, allowed him time, has picked his mark, and Russell Robertson, this will test him because 55 from goal, his kicking can let him down. White, stop, start, and Sauce in the end finds his mark. Robertson will just chip it up. Neitz will jump. Neitz dropped it on the way down. Called a play on in the end. Mark Graham just making sure that that ball is tied up, and we have a ball up about 15 metres from goal.
Actually, smart kick by Robinson here. He knew the distance was going to test him, and he just put the ball in the air, knowing that Neitz would have a bit of a run up on his opponent in front of him.
So still there attacking Cox. Good work. So 5 minutes remaining. We won't see the clock from now. There's 5 minutes of actual play. And in that time, Hawthorn have got to kick 20 points worth and then a bit more to win. So they need, you would think, 4 goals and hold Melbourne in that time. Broadbridge. Oh, here's a goal. This will just about finish them off. David Schwartz winds into it. He likes it. Goal umpire comes back to signal maybe the end for Hawthorn. Jubilation for Melbourne. They've had a tough old pre-season, but that matters for nothing now because it looks like they're going to win this game.
Well, I suppose in the end, I suppose the pre-season competition, the Wizard Cup, has come under a lot of criticism, and whether we take notice or not, it really hasn't shown Melbourne in a true light. Well, the thing that stands out in my mind with this Melbourne team too, Sosa were threatened in that third quarter, and the character of the team really has come to the top in this last quarter.
The coaching staff would be delighted with this effort.
Balls bounce, White will jump. Thompson was too busy looking at White to get his hand on the ball. Lekas out of the middle for the Hawthorn. It'll come down. Barlow couldn't control it. Brown's been good back there. Bizzle out wide. They'll be all happy to see this, especially Melbourne. Right there beautifully. And skipping away is McDonald. Anthony it was to his brother James. Brotherly love into the forward line for the D's, and in the end sitting back there, Joel Smith, who hasn't been a bad player. He's certainly missed a lot of his run. He was very good in the third. Thompson into the middle for the Hawks. Danger. Brown took it and ran. Chance there. Travis Johnson took it at his feet beautifully. Goes across the ground. He's got it. And no worse person for the Hawks to be having a shot at goal than Adam Uze. Normally a beautiful kick, and there shouldn't be a problem with this one.
It wasn't a bad kick by Travis Johnson either here, Dakes. He just held the ball and just placed the ball out in front of him so Uze could run onto it.
He did not break stride, Adam Uze.
We've given credit to the Melbourne players, but also Neil Danaher needs a hell of a lot of credit. He's interchanged his players, he's rested his players throughout the game, and he's got the benefit of it in the last quarter.
26 minutes last quarter. Adam Uze says, that is it. Two to Adam Uze. And the D's are home. 29 scoring shots, 29-129. It's a 14-13, 97 the Hawks. And Johnson the supplier, and Adam Uze with the finish.
Probably the two best kicks at the Melbourne Footy Club as well, Dakes.
Best and fairest winner last year. Uze tops off this Melbourne performance.
Hard to explain the runs there've been and momentum in this game. It's been quite astonishing how teams, once they've got on top for a passage of play, have just totally dominated. At the moment, it's Melbourne's turn. Hawthorn trying hard. Daniel Chicks had a forgettable day. Pachoni, who was one of the players that helped them lift in the third quarter. McDonald, Crawford, Green. 27 minutes gone in the last quarter. He's still trying hard, but really the sting in terms of the final result gone out.
As they've kicked 7 goals in this last quarter, Melbourne, and they've kicked 20 for the game. More goals than they kicked for the entire pre-season competition.
44,000 healthy numbers watching this game. McDonald running out of space. Swartz. And the ball out of bounds. Melbourne came out of the block. They kicked the first 3 goals. Hawthorn answered with the next 4. Astonishingly, Melbourne kicked the next 10. Melbourne kicked the next 10, then Hawthorn kicked the next 9 after that, all in a row. And since then, Melbourne have kicked 7 of the last 8.
Great game from David Schwartz. Great game.
Just watching him, Dakes, too. He just loves taking on the tackler as well. He loves hurting people.
Yeah.
And he loves breaking tackles.
Well, he's just got that healthy appetite to completely show his strength. He just
the competitor.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure quite a few of the Hawthorn fans have left, but the Melbourne fans staying to bask in the glory of their team's performance today. Lekis persisted well, and his delivery is not too bad either for Barlow. Remember, at Hawthorn won, I think, the first 8 games last year, so they've started this season completely differently. Pachoni, Joel Smith certainly hasn't been their worst player today. Out for Thompson. Tim Clark, kick hurriedly off the left. Nothing really down there. Great effort from Dixon, not quite enough. And we're going to bounce.
Well, I suppose in the wash-up, the Demons will thoroughly run out victors here on the scoreboard. It'll show that they really controlled 3/4 of this game. Hawthorn, after a huge third quarter, just wasn't enough in the end, and I think it just gets back to the consistency of the Demons on the day.
Uze up to number 2 in the player rankings. He's had 20 kicks and 12 kicks and 8 handballs for 20 possessions. As Liam Kelly gets kick number 13.
Goes out wide. Loney running back with his back to goal. Has time. And will find his teammate in Holland. So they get it to half forward. Game just winding down, just under 30 minutes last quarter. Beautiful day in Melbourne. And the sun certainly shining for the D's here. Loose ball. Vandenberg does well to skip away. Lekas, a little bit of time. Cox onto his skipper in Crawford, who hasn't been bad. Out wide, and they will find their mark because Nathan Thompson accepts out wide. Still a long way from home. They'll have to go from about 55. Certainly be a testing kick. Thompson, a little bit up and down in his football this afternoon. And I think he's more intent on trying to find a teammate. He'll go to the corridor, and Joel Smith will take the mark right on the siren. The D's have run out victors. Joel Smith will take the last kick of the game. The lead, as it stands at the moment for Melbourne, is 32. And Joel Smith will finish with a goal.
Well, it changes the margin.